So here's something interesting. To build an economy, you first need to build a road. South Africa has a road network of 750,000 kilometers, the 10th longest network in the world, in fact. SANRAL, our national roads agency, currently manages 21,403 kilometers, of which 84% are non-tolled and 16% are tolled. Provinces manage around 47,000 kilometers, whereas 51,600 is managed by municipalities. With all that said, I'm standing on the side of the crown jewel of South African roads. This is the most important road in South Africa, with a length of 578 kilometers. It spans 4 provinces: Gauteng, Mpumalanga, Free State and KwaZulu-Natal. This is the N3 Freeway. 7,000 freight and logistics truck operators move up and down the N3 every single day. They do this because they are taking cargo to and from the Port of Durban. Now, the Port of Durban, commonly known as Durban Harbour, is the largest and busiest shipping container terminal in sub-Saharan Africa, and it's also the 4th largest port in the southern hemisphere. This is what the N3 road feeds into, with trucks constituting more than 30% of traffic on the N3 toll route. On average, around 58 million tons of freight is carried along this very route every single year. And at an average of 500 Rand per ton to move stuff here, this road generates around 29 billion Rand in freight and commercial value every single year. Traffic volumes average between 8,500 cars to 13,500 cars every single day. And sometimes traffic even peaks at 2,000 vehicles per hour along sections of this route. This is more than just a road. This road is the lifeblood of the South African economy. The revenue collected on this route also indicates to its importance. The average car user who travels from Johannesburg to Durban now pays around 327 Rand 50. That's what I'll pay to get back to Joburg, which is a 20 Rand increase from previous years. Now, if you're driving a truck here or a heavier vehicle, for class 2 to 4 heavy vehicles doing a trip on the N3 between Joburg and Durban, it's going to cost you between 592 Rand to 1,200 Rand per vehicle. Now, the money that they make from this road is used for various things. This is according to SANRAL. The toll revenue from roads like the N3 is essential for maintaining, operating and enhancing toll roads, as well as servicing debt acquired for toll road upkeep projects. For instance, when looking at the combined toll fee amounts, the N3 route alone collected 2.3 billion Rand in the year 2019-2020. And also, even though the years aren't the same, in 22-23, an integrated SANRAL report disclosed that from all toll roads around South Africa, they collected 3.8 billion Rand. The months which collect the most are around October, 204 million Rand. And by comparison, January collected some of the least at 174 million Rand per month. All these numbers mean that the N3 route alone accounts for 59% of all toll road revenue in South Africa. Actually, feel free to fact check me on that one. Also, tell us in the comments which toll road you use regularly and how much you pay for an average round trip on it. When we talk about the N3, we have to talk about the heavy vehicles that also use this road. Now, according to the N3TC, these are the guys that manage this road on a 30-year tender. During the past decade, a significant increase of around 8 to 10% per annum has been registered in the number of trucks that now travel up and down the N3 toll route. This, they say, is mainly due to the transfer of freight, specifically bulk products, from rail to road. The thing is that our freight rail company, Transnet, has been struggling a lot, in fact. They've been struggling to run the rails effectively and efficiently enough, and many logistics operators have moved their tonnages from rail to road, even though rail is cheaper. In the past, traffic patterns on the N3 toll route have tended to change over weekends and during peak holiday periods when, let's say for instance, public transport and passenger vehicle numbers have increased exponentially and also truck traffic has declined. However, the most recent traffic studies have indicated that freight movement now follows typical weekday patterns. Everything is just full here. For a private car user like myself, there's nothing scarier than being sandwiched between trucks who, to me, have been driving erratically for many years. They even overtake each other, slowing down traffic and making the journey to and from Durban just terrible. So in 2002, with traffic and especially truck volumes increasing, SANRAL proposed and started planning the De Beers Pass bypass for heavy traffic vehicles as a possible long-term solution for the N3. The De Beers Pass would see a new stretch of freeway built that would separate just before the town of Warden, bypassing Harrismith and emerging just before the Tugela Toll Plaza, taking a much easier route over the escarpment and cutting the journey along the existing N3 route by 20 minutes. This planned bypass would have saved hundreds of thousands of rands and diverted heavy traffic on the Van Rynens Pass to almost zero. The thing is that in South Africa, we sometimes don't do what is right for us. And the N3 road is another one of those examples. In 2017, the De Beers Pass idea that would have taken a lot of heavy traffic off the bottlenecked parts of this road was scrapped because the towns along the route said that they would be disadvantaged. The detractors of the alternate route said that as soon as a town is bypassed by a speedier route, the local townsfolk who depend on the travelers to stop and spend money would lose their income. Nowhere is this more apparent in the towns of Warden, Colenso, Winterton and Escort. And that is a fair example. And many townsfolk of Harrismith would also share this fate if and when the De Beers bypass would have happened. Now, to me, there is a selfishness and a lack of foresight from all involved here. Private car users currently don't like driving down the N3 route as it stands because it sucks. It really does. But there could be a better experience on this route. We can try so much more things, maybe even make tourism a thing for those towns. Also, the money that trucks pay and the damage that they do on the road isn't being factored into this conversation highly enough. In fact, if you told me that we'd be told a little bit more, but the trucks would be gone on this route, I would take that. I would take that option, honestly. I don't know if I'm the only one. Maybe let me know. Also, the N3 bypass would stimulate the economic prospects of other smaller towns and areas on the new proposed route, which would then spread the economic pie. Isn't that a moral enough reason? I don't know. The N3 doomsday scenario of it being abandoned economically, or those smaller towns being abandoned by this bypass, is just not true. South Africa needs better roads, and stressing one road like the N3 is just not it. But anyways, until our politicians start making moves that grow our economy and distribute it more equitably, we're always going to be stuck with problems that need firm political will. Otherwise, we're going to create tough times for ourselves by choice. But anyways, who am I? I'm just a guy rambling about a road next to it on the internet. Thank you for watching this video right until the end. Even though it's a little bit chilly in KZN, it was still very much interesting to make this video for you. Check out one of these other videos and hopefully they'll be just as interesting as this one. Cheers.